Okay, in today's video we're going to be showing you how you can learn the notes on the stave a bit more easily for your right hand, which is this top one, and your left hand, which is this bottom one. So if you're unfamiliar, that is called your treble clef. That shows you for the most part that you're going to be playing with your right hand, and this is your bass clef. Again, mostly you're going to be playing with your left hand. And there are a few ways that you can help remember the notes. Some people choose to anchor everything around a note that they know really well. So for example, middle C. That's probably the note you'll start learning on the piano first. So some people just like to count up. For example, if we're trying to find this note up here, they might just count up one space at a time. So 1, 2, 3, and then up there. So C, D, E, F, and G. Because, as you probably know, we're just going through the alphabet up to G, and then once we go higher than G, we go back to A over there. So some people choose an anchor note, whether that be C or G or something else they're familiar with, and then just count up from there. But there is a faster way of doing it. And I'm going to show you a few examples now. So first of all, if we're looking at the right hand, there's a few little rhymes we can use to help us remember the notes that are either in the spaces or the notes that have a line going through them, like so. Let's start off with the ones in the spaces. So this one's quite nice and easy. The 4 letters we have are F, A, C, and E, or some people like to say face in the space. So face in the space. So counting up from the bottom, all of these rhymes involve counting up from the bottom. F, A, C, and E at the top. So face in the space. So that's one way of remembering the notes that are in the spaces. If you're trying to figure out what the other notes are, i.e. the ones with the lines going through them, we have a different rhyme. So here are all the individual notes we have. E, G, B, D, F, or E, G, B, D, and F. My way of remembering it was every good boy deserves football. So once again, every, E for every, G for good, B for boy, D for deserves, and F for football. So to figure out your right hand, you have 2 patterns here, face in the space for the ones in the spaces, and every good boy deserves football for the ones with lines going through them. And that you might find a little bit quicker than just using your anchor note, for example a C, and then just counting up to try to find a note right at the top, because that can take quite a while. Now, let's have a look at our left-hand notes as well. So once again, some people might use middle C as an anchor, and then just count down. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, and they can figure that out as a D, but we also have some rhymes for the left hand. So let's have a look at those. Once again, we have a pattern for the ones in the spaces and for the ones with a line going through them. Let's have a look first at these ones in the spaces. So our letters there are going to be A, C, E, and G. And the pattern I always learned was all cows eat grass. A, C, E, G. That's a nice easy way of remembering. Over here, for the ones in the lines, our notes this time are going to be G, B, D, F, and A. And my pattern for remembering these ones was good boys deserve fine apples. So very similar to the one up here, every good boy deserves football, but this one is good boys deserve fine apples. So there is your basic way of remembering the different notes in both hands. One thing you might like to try yourself is coming up with your own way of remembering them. So A, C, E, G, you can come up with your own words to help you remember. And that way you personalise it, and it's a bit easier to remember if you don't like the ones I've suggested. But that is a nice, easy way of getting to grips with both your right hand and your left hand notes on the piano. Okay? Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.